Welcome to this week's episode.
We'll be talking about traveling and the highs and the lows.
A hot take about traveling is that it's not as glamorous as it looks like, honestly. I think there's so many factors that come into traveling. Sometimes you just get exhausted of never being home, and also if the team is not performing well, it also gets kind of tense, so it
Oh,
doesn't get
yeah.
to be as fun anymore.
No, there's a lot of tension when traveling. I think traveling is one of those things that everyone from the outside is like, "Oh, that's so cool. You get to go to all these fun places." And
Yes,
it is, but it's challenging.
it is, definitely is.
I think especially teams that are girls,
Yes.
people not wanting to room together, be
Yeah.
wanting to do different things. There's so many different things that we'll touch more on as we keep talking about this, but
Yes.
just going like straight into it, what is one thing that you're like, oh my gosh, I dreaded that about traveling?
I mean, I think it was a lot of the places we would go, and there was not much that we would do.
Mm-hmm.
Having to travel to places like Idaho or Wyoming, honestly, sorry, no shade, but it was just not my style.
Fair,
And
fair.
I didn't think it was interesting enough, or even New Mexico.
Mm.
Our coach didn't even feel safe with taking us to get dinner.
Yeah,
Because, I mean, they're also told by other coaches, like, oh, you should be careful here, you
like
should watch
avoid this
out, avoid
area.
this area. Yeah. So sometimes our coaches would just bring us dinner
Mm-hmm.
to the hotels, and then we would just travel, go to the hotel, go to the courts, back to the hotel, and you never got to see much of anything that was out there or
Yeah,
explore. Because another thing that our coach was really strict about, he would emphasize that it was a work trip, not holidays.
yeah.
So that was hard for
Yeah,
us.
I think that's a big thing. Like, you're going out there to perform, you're expected to play at a certain level, and you also have to do schoolwork, sometimes even take a Zoom, like, on the road.
Yeah.
And you're not always enjoying the locations, and sometimes you are in places that don't have much around them.
Yeah.
I think we were in usually cities where there was stuff to do,
Yeah.
but it didn't necessarily mean that we were out there doing stuff.
Mm.
So I get that feeling of like, oh, you're just stuck in the hotel.
Yeah. And it's also you being excited of like, oh my God, I'm visiting this place. Like maybe we'll get to do this or that. And then
Hmm.
all of a sudden you're just stuck. And
Something that I did, if my parents were traveling to the event, I got to do fun stuff. But if they weren't, then I wasn't. Like I was, stuck from going to the course, having dinner, and then going back, and then pretty much just waiting to the point where I have to fall asleep.
yeah.
And then parents is like, oh, there's this stuff to do. You should go check it out. I'm like, nice.
Yeah, no, for sure. I think I was grateful for the opportunities when we would come to San Diego or we would
Mhm.
come to LA. And I would always just tell my parents, like, please come so I could have nice dinner at least.
Yeah.
Not that it was bad, but it was just a different type of dinner and like just leaving the
You
team
also miss
dynamic.
them.
Yeah, of course, yeah. I do. I did miss them quite a bit.
No, I'm sure they'll be happy to hear that part.
Yeah.
No, I think team dynamics when traveling are challenging, like we said. Um, every single year of mine was completely different. Like completely different team, like just the way everyone got along. So it varied over the years. So that was that the same feeling for you, or I mean, you experienced two different schools,
Yeah.
but
I mean, our first school didn't have much budget, so we would drive everywhere. Like, we would
mm,
drive up to Sacramento, we would drive from San
holy.
Diego, yeah, or to Phoenix. Like, we were just
Okay, that's not
driving
that bad.
everywhere. I mean, yeah, it wasn't that
But
bad, but
yeah,
in like a
used to it.
van with 14 people, it got
Yeah,
tough at
crowded.
some points. Yeah, it was tough, but it was fun still. And we would only travel for like nationals or stuff that it was impossible to drive.
Yeah.
So that way it was justified. But honestly, I feel like I even enjoyed more the road trips at some point because
Oh,
for
really?
us in Utah, it meant we lived an hour and a half away from the airport.
Yes.
So that was a big thing
That is
always.
crazy. I Part of the reason I picked Portland State is because the airport was like close to campus. It's like
Yes.
20-minute drive. And when you're traveling and you've been gone for a few days and you have class the next day. It's like the last thing you want to do is sit in the car for an extra hour when you landed.
Yeah, no, for sure. And sometimes the driver wouldn't be there to pick us up on time, or the flight got delayed, and then there was miscommunication with our
Oh yeah.
bus picking us up. And there were so many things that with planning that our coaches couldn't handle or do anything because they were not the
Mhm.
ones responsible of the traveling stuff, that it was really hard to adapt, or at some point you're just tired. I mean, for us, we were competing that same day and you don't even get to shower. You
Oh,
just put
same
on
for us.
clothes and then you're just sweaty,
Yeah, and
and then going to the airport,
mhm.
traveling, and then plus an hour and a half drive that it became two because we would go so slow, and then
Oh yeah.
sometimes there would be snow, so you had to be even more careful. It just became too much, and I think at some point we would reach our apartments at like 4 a.m. and we had class the next day at 7 a.m. and there was no
Oh, there's no
excuse absent.
excuse.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. Yeah.
So,
No, I think in that sense we were lucky that we were so close to the airport. But this is not serious at all. This is like a funny thing. Our coach would rent like a bus, like a giant bus for our golf team that was like 7 players.
well,
And I remember it was like, Coach, why don't you just get a van? And he's like, Hey, I don't make the choice. Like,
yeah.
I don't book it. And I was just like, Oh, got
Yeah.
it. Just a side note, but like that was a funny thing that he would do.
Yeah.
But no, I think you reach a certain point of exhaustion, just being a student athlete in general, and then in those moments where it's just like, especially if you had a rough tournament,
Yes.
right? Like, all you want to do is be home.
You don't want to talk to your teammates anymore. Like, you want to be on your own. And it's just tough having to also still deal with your teammates during that travel, like the whole time, as you said, being girls. There's so much going on outside of the court too with the dynamic, and sometimes you don't want to room with another teammate, and that's
Yeah,
valid.
sometimes you have favorites, and that's just the way it is.
Exactly.
Whatever, everyone knows that out there. But no, I think that's a big point. But also, like you said, you're spending so much time with them already. Like you pretty much see them every day.
Yeah.
And not that you don't like them, but sometimes you just don't want to talk to them.
No.
Or you know what happens sometimes? Sometimes it's because golf is an individual sport, but obviously it's a team sport during college, right? And I think it was hard when on occasions like teammates would like get upset and then not talk to anyone, but like be rude or something like that. Like then the whole team is awkward while
Yeah.
traveling and everyone's just sitting there like, okay, like this is great.
Yeah, or for example, at some points my team was pretty divided into different kind of groups,
Yeah.
and we were kind of just do our own thing, and then some people felt excluded. But honestly,
Mhm.
I was very selfish. My senior year, I was like, I want to make the
Oh, me
best
too.
out of the last year I'm gonna be competing, and I didn't care for anyone's feelings. I was like, we're teammates on the court, but outside of the court,
No,
just no,
dude, I
we're not
so get
friends.
that. My senior year, all I wanted to do was have fun, and I didn't care what anyone would think. Like, if you wanna be upset at whatever, like, oh, that's your problem. Like, honestly, I'm just here to have fun, and if you don't, well, that sucks.
Yeah. Tell us about the worst trip you've ever had with your team.
The worst trip. Oh gosh.
I'm sure many can come to mind, but
I think it's not one in particular. I think my junior year was tough. My
mm,
junior year, it was divided, but it was just weird because I would constantly be in a like we had 2 cars and it's like the whole team with our assistant coaches in one car and it's just me and our head coach.
mm,
And my head coach and I get along really, really well. So we were having a blast in the other car, but it
so,
was just awkward. Like you're traveling and like sometimes like I'd show up and be like, "Good morning," and it would be quiet. And it's just like, it's annoying. So having that happen throughout the spring season was just like it wasn't enjoyable. That's a point where I'd focus solely on golf. I'd go to the events, play, and all I wanted to do was like come back home. Like I just I cared for myself and what I had to do and that was it.
Yeah.
But that was like a hard season.
Yeah.
Plus I was
For
going through an
overall
injury on top of that. So it just
makes it.
overall I was just overwhelmed. I just didn't want anything to do with it. And I think I took a break of golf for like 3 months after the season ended.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah. So how about you?
For me, I think it was during my senior year.
Mhm.
We started decently before conference, and then conference started, and it was a lot of matches that we would come so close, but we would still be losing them. And
Oh
with
yeah.
our conference matches, it's you are playing, and then once when someone gets to 4 points, it just stops. So
Mhm.
even if you're winning, it just sucks because you never get to finish the matches that you're playing, and at some point it just gets very tiring of so much losing that you just get frustrated. And also having such good friends back at home, like I just wanted to also be with them. I wanted to be back home with my roommates and men's tennis and golf, uh, men's golf also. Like we just created such a big family that at some point it was just draining to be out there traveling all the time when we just wanted to all be home because it was hard with our schedules. Everyone would travel a different weekend and stuff
No,
like
that's
that.
such a big thing. Like all
Yeah,
your friends have different schedules and you like don't get to see each other. Or
exactly.
maybe for
No.
like half an hour or something like that.
Yeah, or like you can see each other at the airport, like someone's flying
Yeah.
in and you're leaving. No, I think it was very rough and it got draining during my senior year when we were just not winning and it was just so close. And I think the whole team just goes down and coaches are just upset and they feel the pressure and they just don't know
Yeah.
what else they can do to make it better. And then friendships, like we start dividing and we start blaming
Yeah,
someone
there's a lot
else.
of tension.
Yeah, and of course, always the one who loses the last match is like, come on, like you could not last 15 more minutes. Like I was about to finish my match and you couldn't just wait a little bit longer. Or
Yeah, I get what you're
our
saying.
thing was, our slogan was, lose slow, win fast, and that was a big thing for us that we would just argue quite a bit. Like if you're losing, just take your time, like there's no one rushing you.
Yeah.
And we would just argue quite a bit, and then we would even argue like at the airport and stuff like that. It was just tense, and it was just a buildup of so much losing. You can see the stats.
Yeah. That's so funny you say your like slogan. Ours was play your ass off.
Yeah.
That was ours. The coach would always show up and be like, play your ass off. You know what? What's hard about traveling, kind of when you're talking about it's different in golf, obviously, because you're not waiting for other people. Um, but if someone's having a rough day, you have the responsibility to do even better. I think, I don't know if everyone in my team had that, but at least I know what my experience was like. And if someone was having a rough day, coach would come up to me and be like, you better get it together because someone else's score is not counting. And you need to step up.
But that was similar with us because we were all playing at the same time. And
Yeah.
if someone that wasn't performing, that's supposed to be performing, they were like, "You better win, and you better win fast."
Yeah,
That was the
okay.
thing.
Yeah, it's
So
just the
because we were
time
all
is
playing,
different,
yeah, we were
right?
all playing at the same time, and
Yeah.
that's why.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. No, I think that's also like the pressure and then like the internal competition. I
Hmm.
think I mean everyone like you want to be better than your teammates.
Of
You want to be the
course.
best on the team,
Yeah.
no matter what. And I think that also created some tension when traveling because you go through qualifying. Um, and for us, you go through multiple rounds and top five makes the lineup. And, there's always tension, whoever is the indie or if you're not traveling. And
Oh, it was that one was a hot take. Who was not traveling?
oh, yeah,
Yeah.
go.
No, I mean, it was always a big competition, and our coaches would decide, and it was not only about our results, it was they would judge how we were practicing and stuff, and
Hmm.
they would just mention other factors to justify their choice, which we'll talk about coaches later.
Coach's pick is insane.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I've been on both sides of it, like good and bad, and it's just uh, it's a hard place to be in, like
Yeah,
especially when it's about you.
yeah, no. We'll talk more about coaches later, but or rant about them.
No, but
But yeah, no.
traveling,
No, it gets tough with being we were either 8 or 10 and only 8 of us would travel and the two were that were left behind. I mean, I got to be left behind in sometimes because I was
mm,
injured and I didn't like it and I
no,
felt
it
very
sucks.
frustrated. But at some point during my senior year, I was like, you know what? I'm just taking the advantage of like resting and it was not season yet, so I didn't really care that much
Mm-hmm.
and I was just able to stay back with my friends, honestly. And
Well, there you go.
at some point, I rather stay home than travel, which was something so crazy to me.
No, yeah, I think it's funny. There was only one event that I didn't play, and that was my freshman year conference.
Hmm.
And it was actually a local event, so I still drove to watch all the girls play, but
Hmm.
it sucked, like not playing.
Yeah.
But no, everything else, I think I still made the effort to show up even with injuries, which oh well.
Yeah. Okay, now let's switch it up a little bit.
Okay,
Let's talk about your best trip.
my best trip. Oh my gosh, that's so hard. My senior year, they were all so fun.
I love that after junior year, you had a good senior year
Oh yeah. No. I
with
mean, the
traveling.
first half of junior year was fun. It was just the end was rough. But no, senior year was so fun. I think Tanika and I just we made sure to have a good year. You know, I drove my own car and I drove us everywhere. So that was also fun. Like I get to play my own music and no one gets to say anything. And I for best event, there's a few that I can think of. I think my sophomore year, Coeur d'Alene Gonzaga's tournament, where I got to play with Ivana, like my childhood friend,
Oh.
like that was a highlight. And some of my best golf. Um, gosh, Hawaii. I play awful, but it's Hawaii, so I don't care. Good tournament.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's hard to be put on the spot like that. I think there's so many highlights of so many of those events that I don't think I can pick one.
Yeah, no.
Can you?
Yeah.
Go for it. I can't.
It was my last tournament, my conference tournament. We went to Vegas,
Mm.
and it was a fun place to go. And it was the same place where men's tennis and women's tennis would compete.
Right.
So it was just great having our men's tennis go and support us. And we would also stay in the same hotel. So when we would have free time, we would be able to hang out with each other, help each other with homeworks, because we
Hmm.
were doing our finals online. And I think it was just such a great and unique experience.
Yeah.
And we played San Diego State for our first round. No, second round, because we actually made it one round to the tournament. We won against Fresno State, which was a shock. We had not won one round in 5 years for Utah State, so it was
Oh.
pretty big accomplishment. And then my second match, I was pretty injured. I got really injured right before conference, but I was still managing to play, and I only played doubles. And we played against San Diego State. I played doubles number one, and I won that match, even though my team ended up losing.
No, but you
I
won.
I was able to win my last conference match, my last tennis match ever. I have
No,
not
that's
played
sweet.
tennis after that,
That's bittersweet. Yeah.
so I think I just took the good things about it and just
Yeah,
the
it's hard to
trip.
top that.
Yeah, and just the trip of being in Vegas with my best friends.
Yeah, I think my last tournament was too emotional for me to actually enjoy it.
Mm.
I think like my coach made me cry mid round. He's like, "This is our last round together. This is our last part three together." I'm like, "Coach, I'm already so emotional. Can we please stop?" I'm like actually crying.
Yeah. See, my
But
senior day was more emotional for me, and then my
mm,
conference was like just gonna give it all, and I was injured, so it
it's
limited me playing singles. But I
yeah.
was even I think I was more angry during that time than emotional, just because we were so close. And I think if my coach would have listened to me and put me in the lineup, I think we would have had a
A,
better
a
chance.
chance, yeah.
And I was okay with just getting more injured, but she did not agree with me, and
Yeah.
she did
I
not
get
believe
that.
in us winning, which I'll talk more about later.
Hmm.
But um,
No, I get that. I think my conference tournament is also when you have senior day.
so yeah, it
It's
makes
too much
yeah.
going on. And I mean, I remember those last few holes are um like one of our media guys came up to me and he's like, finish strong. And I was like, yes. and I it's par five is the last hole. I reached it into. I have an eagle putt, and I ended up parring it because I three putted. And not my proudest moment, but I did like react when I missed those putts, like and finished like shook hands with the girls and walked past everyone who was cheering for me and didn't look at them. Like I didn't even look up. I just went straight to signing my scorecard. And I think there was just so many emotions going on that I knew I couldn't look at anyone.
Yeah, no, of
Yeah.
course.
So,
I think it's just very different having your senior day the same day that it's your last competition. Because for me, it was
yeah.
1 week in between, so I had
Time
time.
to
Yeah,
yeah.
and for my senior day, like, all my family came up, and that was the emotional part. And I got injured in my last match at home,
Mhm.
but and ended up being in crutches. But after that, like
Oh.
having 1 week to get better and just playing again, and it was just good rivals and good traveling experience overall for me.
Yeah, I think our traveling experience was good. My senior year, we had a 3 week period leading up to conference where we were in Arizona, like three different tournaments there. So, I mean, and having my own car, you bet I went shopping and stuff. So,
Yeah.
that trip itself was fun. It was just very emotional,
Yeah. No.
but it's part of
Okay.
it.
I mean, just a little bit of our insight of traveling and the good and the bad parts.
Yeah, it's not always easy, but it's definitely worth it.
Yeah.
So, it's not all bad, we promise.
No, it gets better at some point.
It's just
It can
im-
be fun, but it can be draining at the same time.
it's just important to highlight that it's not always perfect, I think.
Yes.
But anyways, I hope you enjoyed listening to us ramble about traveling. And make sure to tune in.
Follow and subscribe. I guess you had to.